Hello, students. Today we are going to start Chapter 6, The 100 Dresses, Part 2 by L. Bossa Rester. In continuation of the previous lesson, The 100 Dresses, Part 2 reveals why Wanda Petronsky family decided to move to a big city where no one would care about their unfamiliar name. On hearing the note, Maddie and Peggy got anxious as they realized that they would never get a chance for making amends for all the teasing they had done. Both the girls got relieved only on learning that Wanda liked them and had dedicated one of the 100 dresses to each one of them. Everyone was having a look at the amazing drawings Wanda had drawn and admiring it when the monitor of the class brought a piece of note for Miss Mason. Miss Mason read that note multiple times as she couldn't believe what was written in it. Finally, she decided to gather the class to read it loud and clear. It was a letter from Wanda Petronsky's dad. She silenced for a while, which created tension in the minds of her students. She adjusted her spectacles, which made it clear how important that note is. She began reading it, and everyone listened carefully. The letter began with a salutation to Miss Mason. Wanda's father conveyed his intention of not sending both of his children, Wanda and Jackie, to school anymore. He mentioned that they were shifting to another city, a big one, where no one would care enough about their strange names. A big city with a lot of people having weird names. Wanda's classmates thought her name was weird and funny. Wanda was a Polish immigrant to America and thus had an unfamiliar name. After hearing what was there in that letter, everyone was left speechless. Miss Mason, too, was stunned, and thus she cleaned her glasses, wore them again, and spoke to the class in a low voice. She conveyed her disappointment to the class and asked them to ensure her that nothing was done purposefully to hurt Wanda. She said whatever happened was sad and unfortunate. She advised the students to introspect about it too. Everyone began thinking about what was written in that letter and how each one of them made Wanda feel. In their first period, Maddie could not concentrate on her studies as she felt sick for not stopping Peggy at the right time. Had she stopped Peggy from playing that dress game with Wanda, things could have been different. Although Maddie never teased Wanda, but nor did she stop Peggy from doing it, which makes her just as bad or maybe worse. Peggy's intentions were never to hurt Wanda, and she was not aware that her game hurt her feelings. Maddie, on the other hand, was aware of its impact, yet she stood silent, which made her a coward for not standing against what's wrong. Filled with guilt and regret, Maddie wished for a chance to apologize to Wanda. Hoping Peggy would be thinking about Wanda too, she takes a look at Peg, but she was busy studying. Regardless of what Peggy was thinking, Maddie decided to take some action. She hoped Wanda had not yet moved away and she could tell her how sorry she was and appreciate her 100 dresses. That day, after the school had ended, Peggy asked Maddie if they could go and check if Wanda has moved or not. Maddie was satisfied at the moment that they both had some plans of apologizing to Wanda. Both of them hurried to Boggins Heights, the place where Wanda lived, in order to find her. During this season, the place was generally wet and the atmosphere was sad and hopeless. Peggy tries to comfort herself by murmuring that at least she didn't call her a foreigner because she was an immigrant. Neither did she make her feel different for having an unfamiliar name. She was always in this delusion that Wanda had no idea that those girls were making fun of her. Above all, Wanda is such a great artist too. Maddie, on the other hand, could not say a word. What she hoped for is a chance to confess, make amends, appreciate her, and try to stop her from moving away. In fact, she even thought of conveying her idea to protect Wanda if anyone tried to trouble her in any way. In order to reach the place before night, they hurried. They saw a wild little house up there, which they thought was the place where Venda Petronsky lived. The house and its surroundings were shabby but clean, just like Wanda's worn out blue dress. Thin bunches of grass grew along the path that led to the house. They resembled thin kittens. No one could be seen around the house. They knocked both at the front and backyard doors, but to their disappointment, there was no answer. Thank you.